It was a special season. A spectacular one. Hard fought, with a lot of variety. And above all, it was the start of a new chapter. With new racetracks, with new cars, with new faces. The 2021 DTM season had it all. Excitement, adrenaline, emotion. And it had the most important thing. A battle for the championship that went down to the wire.
This DTM season 2021 will certainly go down in history because only here at the Nürburgring, after 16 races, the DTM champ was crowned. And we were spoiled. So many fantastic drivers, male and female, so many brands, so many duels, so many surprises. On that and many more things, we want to look back. Our journey started 113 days ago with the very first round in Monza.
Monza, Italy. Here motorsport is all around. You can feel the legend. This mecca of speed was being readied for the next big international racing highlight, because the world-famous Autodrome was the venue for the latest chapter in DTM's long and successful history. For the first time, the championship would feature spectacular GT race cars, and we also welcomed no fewer than 11 rookies onto the DTM grid at the season opener.
Yeah, I think first of all, just a proud day to be here on the grid and finally achieve that lifelong dream. It feels real now, let's say.
I think the level of the other drivers is extremely high and it's extremely aggressive racing.
Right on cue, here they come over the grid hatchings. And all the waiting is over. Now it's all about the racing. It's all about the red lights, which are about to go out, about to be extinguished. They creep up towards the line, side by side, and the race gets underway. DTM 2021 is go!
With a striking Indy-style start, newcomer Vincent Abril and series returnee Daniel Hockenheim led the field into battle as a thrilling new DTM season burst into life. It was a tight squeeze into turn one, but Abril managed to keep the nose of his HRT Mercedes ahead, despite the best efforts of Hockenheim, with another DTM returnee, Maximilian Gutz, in third. The pole sitter then held on to the lead until it was time for his mandatory pit stop.
And now it is the time of Vincent Abril to come in.
Okay, now push like hell, okay? It's cold tires, but you need to push.
He's gone out in front of Liam Lawson, but only just this effectively. It's going to be for the lead of the race. Liam Lawson trying to squeeze around the outside. He knows this is his opportunity, and he takes it with both hands. The Kiwi is through.
Still on cold tyres, Abril was unable to defend against Lawson and had to let the Red Bull Ferrari go. As a result, Liam Lawson became the youngest ever DTM race winner.
It is Liam Lawson that is making his way out of the Parabolica for the Red Bull AF Corsa team. He wins the first round of the DTM 2021 season with a superb demonstration of driving.
In the Saturday race, the 19-year-old from New Zealand secured a brilliant entry for Ferrari and his team AF Corsa in this long-standing race series, and at the home track of Monza no less. Lawson also made history by becoming the first New Zealander to finish on the DTM podium.
I'm really happy with today's race. It was a first time for everything for me. Yeah, to win in Italy and Monza in a Ferrari is definitely something special.
Upon its DTM return, Mercedes-AMG rounded out the podium with Vincent Abril and German Maximilian Gotz.
Great to be back in DTM and starting the season already with a podium. So this was already on the list since many years now, and finally it happens.
The second qualifying session of the season already demonstrated how close it would be in DTM. There was an open battle for pole position. No fewer than 5 brands were represented amongst the first 6 places: Audi, Ferrari, BMW, Lamborghini and Mercedes-AMG. Race 1 winner Lawson was up front again, but this time ended up qualifying second, because this man came to the fore for the first time. Kelvin Van Der Linde.
The red lights are on, they creep up towards the line, and as soon as that goes green, we are going to be charging down towards the Retrofit for the first time, and we are underway, and it's a decent start for Liam Lawson, who's going to push the pole sitter hard here.
Just as it had been in race 1, the Indy-style start was breathtaking on Sunday as well. Kelvin Van Der Linde held on to the lead. Behind him, however, a thrilling fight for second place unfolded.
What about second place? Liam Lawson trying to come back down the inside now. Oh, it's a tight squeeze. Bonner's on the curbs. Lawson's around the outside, and here comes Sheldon Van Der Linde. It's going to be 3 abreast. You've got Esteban Moot just behind as well. And Sheldon Van Der Linde goes through.
It was door-to-door racing. This is why we love DTM how it is now. The racing is honestly probably even better than it was before, in my opinion.
I'm so honored to fight with these guys. I mean, the experience they have really, it's hard for me, but I'll get there.
Yeah, it's seriously high level. And it showed me today that they are aggressive yeah, we'll race you seriously hard.
Eventually, 22-year-old Sheldon Van Der Linde came out on top in this 4-way battle. And at the end of lap 2, the 2 South African brothers were running first and second for the first time. Behind them, the battle for positions continued. Moot and Lawson were side by side going through the chicane. Lawson lost out.
Oh no, Liam Lawson's lost the back end. There wasn't room for both of them.
The New Zealander dropped to the back of the field. Kelvin Van Der Linde, meanwhile, was in control at the front and powered towards the checkered flag with a 4-second advantage.
Yes, come on, boys! We did it! Yes! Come on! Come on!
On his 25th birthday, the DTM rookie had scored his maiden pole and now his maiden victory.
It's a dream, man. It's an absolute dream to come dream so many years of DTM. Growing up, I never dreamed of Formula 1. This was my final destination, and to do that this year, and to definitely come back and win the first race of the season or the first weekend of the season is such a proud moment.
Finishing second ahead of the Mercedes of Lucas Auer, Nico Muller completed a successful day for Audi. Sheldon Van Der Linde ended up as the best BMW driver in 4th place. However, it was his brother who was in the limelight, heading home from the first race weekend as the championship leader. Also eager to make it to the top and power her way to glory was another of our DTM rookies.
Hey everyone, I'm Sophia Flösch, I'm 20 years old and I'm from Munich, and I'm gonna race in DTM this year for Abt Sportsline. Well, motorsport is my life, let's say. So, I mean, I'm 20 now. I started with racing when I was 4 years old, and I did finish my school. I did my Abitur, but still racing was always everything for me. I mean, I'm still having long blonde hair and still have my nails done, but still I'm racing quick cars. As a racing driver, you always need a good package, It's not just about the driver, it's also about the car.
It was a significant signing by Abt Sportsline. The long-established German race team was running one of the most talented female racing drivers currently around in the Audi R8. As a result, it marked the first time a woman had competed in Europe's toughest race series since 2012.
Ich glaube, es ist auch an der Zeit.
I think it's about time we made sure that female racers are given a good chance as well. And Sophia is more than welcome with us in DTM.
Sie ist mehr als willkommen.
In addition to Flösch, another talented female racer was also on the grid. Esme Hawkey competed with the Lamborghini for the T3 Motorsport team and had high aspirations.
I think that's so great to have the female empowerment in DTM, just to have the support from Lamborghini as well. Maybe at the end of the season you'll see me on that top step, so let's hope so.
A passion for motorsport, but there's also an important message to convey.
My goal is to kind of show young girls that you can actually also do motorsport, because I think many young girls with like 5-6 years old, they don't even know that you can go on a karting track as a girl and also race, and that you can also dream of DTM or Formula 1 or racing series. Many people don't even know, so of course I'm trying to make motorsport also interesting for females and to show them that you kind of don't have to change to be able to do this sport.
super speedy Sophia Flörsch and Esme Hawkey. Definitely two to watch in the new race season. The second race weekend already underlined how thrilling and unpredictable this DTM season would be. At Lausitz on Saturday, points leader Kelvin Van Der Linde missed out on the podium as he only finished 4th. It was somebody else who hadn't featured so far that remained cool at 30 degrees. And we don't mean pole sitter Sheldon Van Der Linde.
And here we go, ready for the first race of the weekend. The Van Der Linde brothers side by side. Sheldon to the right of your picture in the yellow and white BMW. Gets a good start as the lights go out. Kelvin Van Der Linde alongside. And it's neck and neck as well in the battle for third place here as they run into turn 1.
At speeds of almost 250 kilometres an hour, the GT race cars roared through a corner that required huge bravery. Turn 1, the banked first corner. Much to the delight of the spectators in the grandstand, who had been admitted again for the first time.
It is fast, it is seriously quick, and in the race, you know, when you've done 25 laps on a set of tyres, you can feel that rear left starting to want to go, and it's quite a nervous feeling because the car's so loaded up through. Obviously, there's a little bit of banking as well, and the car is just completely underloaded on that right side, so it's nice.
2, 3 and sometimes even 4 abreast, the field completed the opening lap. After a safety car intervention triggered by Esme Hawkey, the first drivers elected to come in for their mandatory tyre change at an early stage, including Swiss Felipe Ellis, who had started from 9th place. In a hotly contested battle, the 28-year-old Mercedes driver came out on top against Liam Lawson in the Red Bull Ferrari, the winner of the opening race, and now scored his maiden victory in his first ever DTM season.
Boys, let's go! Unbelievable! Thank you so much.
Absolutely speechless. I was actually thinking about what to say on the in-lap after I knew that we just won the race. And I couldn't think of anything. I was actually starting to cry a little bit in the car because there's just so many emotions going through you. And such a surreal race, you know, coming from P9 to P1. With those 2 starts, and you know, it was almost like a Hollywood film.
Ellis became only the 3rd Swiss driver in DTM history to add his name to the winners list, following in the footsteps of Marcel Fessler and Nico Müller. The 4th race of the season also delivered a first-time race winner. Initially, Felipe Ellis seemed in a good position to become the first driver to win 2 races this season. Having secured pole, he also remained in control at the start, as the field thundered once more towards the banked turn 1. The team win with a Mercedes of Ellis, holding off fellow front row starter Liam Lawson in the Red Bull AF Corsa Ferrari.
Good start as well for Daniel Hunkedaer in the bright pink number 8 Mercedes. He looks like he's gaining ground from 8th on the grid. Felipe Ellis then on the way down into turn 2. He's got Liam Lawson trying to come around the outside of him, side by side for the lead of the race. Kelvin Van Der Linde in 3rd, and there goes Liam Lawson down the inside into turn 3, and he's got the lead of the race. Fantastic move.
Kelvin Van Der Linde got closer to Ellis too and went past on lap 3. The key strategy decision followed not much later. Lawson came in for his mandatory stop after just 8 laps.
So he's pitted just 1 lap later than his championship rival. Remember, Liam Lawson was leading the race by about 0.7 of a second from Kelvin Van Der Linde.
So far, so good. But he stalled as he drove off and lost crucial time.
So that's a shame, but I think we made the most of it. It's pretty rare to be able to have 2 strong races when you do get that added weight. So for sure I got lucky with Kelvin having his issue.
On lap 27, there was drama for Kelvin Van Der Linde. Suddenly, the Audi slowed.
So, Kelvin Van Der Linde will inherit the lead of the race. Oh, what's that? Number 3, Kelvin Van Der Linde, slow, dropping back. What's happened? He's got an issue. What's the issue? He's already lost the lead of the race to Max Gotz. He's got Liam Lawson, his championship rival, past him.
car switched off, man.
I could be happier if I was winning today. Unfortunately, the car switched off in turn 1, so I had to give up the win today. But luckily, we still finished. That's important. Still leading the championship, so I think it could be worse. But obviously, I'm really disappointed missing out on the win.
Van der Linde could only finish third, Lawson was second, and the winner of the day was Maximilian Gotz.
Out of the final corner, he now comes. He roars for the line, he flashes the lights, and Max Gotz wins in the DTM
Great,
for the
Maxi.
first time.
Congrats. Great, Maxi. Congrats. Really, really well. Well done, well done. Nice race. Great job.
Really great. So I was freaking out when I crossed the finish line. It's very emotional. I've been in this series now nearly 2.5 years, and it was really crazy circumstances for us yesterday, but today we did everything right.
4 races, 4 winners. That was the situation after the first 2 race weekends. There had been plenty of variety, especially at Lausitz. Across the 2 days, there had been 5 different drivers on the podium. Liam Lawson was the only driver to make it onto the rostrum on both days, ending up second each time. He also cemented his second place in the drivers' standings after the Lausitz weekend. Only Kelvin Van Der Linde was ahead of him, and the gap between the two was just 4 points after the first 4 races of the season. It had quickly become clear. Lawson versus Van Der Linde. That was going to be the duel of the season. It glistens in gold and attracts attention. Its name almost magical. McLaren. Welcome to DTM.
The car design looks great. It's a great brand. I really love to drive that car. Obviously big history in motorsport, in Formula One. Obviously it's the first time for us to be in the DTM. It's all new for us, but I think be well prepared and go for the best.
McLaren and Christian Klein, 2 well-known names from Formula One. And now a rendezvous in DTM at Zolder.
Well, it's a very competitive championship, not only because of drivers, but also because of teams. I was following and watching the last couple of races. The battles on track just were fantastic. And of course, pit stops are important as well. That's probably an area which is a bit tricky for us. We never drove a championship where you had to perform in the pit stops.
This year they were getting some initial experience with guest races and would be present on 3 different weekends in a bid to prove themselves. The 3rd DTM race weekend was a blast from the past. The venue, Zolder. It was here in Belgium that the first ever DTM race was held in 1984. Kelvin Van Der Linde and Max Gutz led the field into the rolling start, and we didn't have to wait long for drama. Daniel Hockenheim and Arjen Meiney collided. The victim, Liam Lawson, caught by the Mercedes of Meiney and sent spearing into the gravel trap.
Adrenalin is trying to be a hero on lap 1 and has taken out like 3 cars in the process. So I wish on the first lap we could just get through cleanly, and I don't know why we have to be so aggressive and because it's such a long race,
At the restart, pole sitter Kelvin Van Der Linde defended his lead. A large part of the field then immediately came in to get fresh tyres. Unlike Alex Albon, the Red Bull Formula One star opted for a different strategy, staying out longer and posting impressive lap times, even on older tyres. The result, a thrilling on-track battle for second place with Mike Rockenfeller. The 2013 DTM champion withstood Albon's relentless pressure with a classy drive. In the end, Albon would have to settle for 3rd place.
In a way, though, it's quite frustrating because, we were there, we were that close to P1, so if we just had a little bit more, we could have done it.
With that 2nd place for Rockenfeller and victory for Van Der Linde, Abt Sportsline became the first team this season to score a 1-2 finish.
Perfect day, pole and win. Congratulations.
Yeah, man, awesome job, guys. Thanks, man. Good job, team. Thanks. Also, mega for Mike.
What's more, the South African became the first driver to score 2 wins, and he extended his championship lead.
Feels amazing. You definitely can't get used to winning in this championship. So many top-class drivers, especially today. You know, they were in my mirror all the time. I just try to stay calm.
But there was little for Van Der Linde to be happy about in the second race at Zolder. Due in large part to the success ballast carried as a result of his win, he couldn't manage any better than 8th place. So there was an opportunity for the opposition to make up points.
Red lights come on, a rolling start about to get underway with Marco Vittman and Lucas Auer side by side as they go thundering over the start-finish line. It's a good start for Marco Vittman into turn 1. He's got the BMW in front of the Mercedes of Lucas Auer.
Marco Vittman made good use of his first pole position of the season and took the race lead. The safety car was then deployed after a collision between Felipe Ellis and Vincent Abril. Vittman held the lead at the restart, although he was under massive pressure from Lucas Auer. But ultimately, his victory was safe.
And it's going to be victory here for Marco Vittman.
Well done, Marco!
Marco Vittman celebrated!
Yeah! Whoa! Guys, we won the DTM race!
For two-time DTM champion Vittman and BMW, it was the first win of the season. For his team Volkenhorst, it was also their first ever success in the series. And it had all come as a nice surprise.
We never expected when we came here that we have any chance really. But from Friday onwards, our package was that strong really. I felt super good in the car. So yeah, just amazing.
So far, Vittman had scored points in every race and was now 4th in the standings. After Zolder, it was back to Germany, to the Eifel. At the Nürburgring, one driver proved unbeatable for what was already the 3rd time this season, Kelvin Van Der Linde. Having claimed his 3rd pole of the year, the South African secured victory with the Audi in impressive fashion and further extended his points lead.
He said we weren't quite on the pace yesterday in practice, but he's on the pace today. It's going to be a 3rd win of the season for Kelvin Van Der Linde, and he extends his championship lead in the DTM.
Yes, boys. Thank you.
The 25-year-old had even pulled off a hat-trick at the Nürburgring. Pole position, victory, and the fastest race lap. The real winners of the day, though, were the spectators. There were 23 cars on the grid for the DTM Spectacular at the Nürburgring, more than in many years previously. More cars, more duels, more thrills. Spectacular action. On top of that, Porsche made its DTM debut, but had bad luck as Michael Ammermuller had to park the SSR Performance 911 after the opening lap of the race.
Yeah, it was a really short race for us. There was a lot of action the first laps, and in the position where we started, very far in the back, it's a very big risk.
Liam Lawson also suffered bad luck. 13th place and 0 points was the result. And if Saturday was bad, Sunday definitely wasn't Lawson's day either. Decisive was his attempted move into the chicane, which triggered this collision with Mike Rockenfeller and Kelvin Van Der Linde.
And there's more contact here. Rockenfeller sent round into a full spin. Lawson stands on the brakes to avoid it. Esteban Moot has to go way out wide.
The 2 Abt Sportsline Audis retired immediately. It was the first time all season that Van Der Linde had failed to finish in the points. And Lawson would also miss out on scoring as he picked up his 2nd puncture of the race.
I saw Liam in the mirror. I knew he was there. I just didn't think he would be, let's say, maybe stupid is the wrong word, but brave enough to really go for the move. There were 2 cars on my outside, and 4 into 1 definitely doesn't work.
As a result, Lawson had dropped to 5th in the drivers' standings. And yet there was still victory for Ferrari, courtesy of Lawson's teammate, Alex Albon. From 1st place on the grid, Albon, Red Bull's Formula 1 reserve driver, remained up front, despite having to deal with several safety car restarts, and was deserving of his success.
Alex Albon into the chicane for the final time, and an historic moment because Alex Albon is going to win his 1st DTM race. It's going to be a 2nd win for Ferrari this year, but it is a 1st win for a Thai driver.
Fantastic job, man. Fantastic job.
The Red Bull-Ferrari combination from AF Corsa became the first team to have won races with both of its drivers this season. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Belgian Esteban Moot secured the best result of the season for Lamborghini in 5th place. However, Moot didn't play a role in the battle for the podium. In fine conditions, Spaniard Daniel Hunkedea in the Gruppe M Mercedes and Marco Vittman in the Volkenhorst BMW rounded out the podium.
8 races were completed and we take stock. After the first 4 events, we had 6 different race winners. Newcomer Kelvin Van Der Linde was the consistent factor. From the title candidates, Marco Vittman was the only one to have scored points in every race. And from all the 5 brands entered for the full season, 4 had already racked up race wins. Absolutely crazy, and the second half of the season was yet to come, and that had quite something in store for us.
The second half of the season got underway in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. And it was a Red Bull car that set the benchmark, signalling an impressive comeback in the battle for the title. Prior to this event, no driver had managed to win both races on a race weekend, but that was about to change. Liam Lawson shone, reaching the top step of the podium on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, Liam, excellent job, excellent job. That's back where we belong. P1. Congratulations, mate. Yes, guys, yes. Good job, really, really good job.
Obviously, very, very good. It's a great way to start the second half of the season. We had a really difficult last couple of rounds, so to do what we did this weekend is pretty special.
Mercedes driver Maximilian Gotz wasn't much less successful. On both days, Gotz managed to finish on the podium, something he hadn't done up until this point. On Saturday, he had a strong points haul with 2nd place. One day later, he finished 3rd.
First of all, I'm super happy having 2 podiums after the weekend. I think compared to the other Mercedes-AMG cars, I have to be happy. The guys in front were a bit too quick for us, but in the end, I'm satisfied, to be honest, to getting the points and 2 very nice trophies.
For Kelvin Van Der Linde, meanwhile, it was a disillusioning weekend. He finished 5th in the first race and didn't get any further than 6th place in race 2.
I think before the weekend we knew it was going to be a tough one, so to leave with a P5 and a P6, I can be very happy. So thanks to the team for really doing everything to get me up there with the Mercedes and the Ferraris and BMWs. We had a big challenge this weekend, but I think to still lead the championship, that's a big compliment to them, and the worst, let's say, is behind us now. Now we focus at the end of the season.
In the championship, his advantage had been slashed to just 12 points, with Lawson moving from 5th to 2nd in the standings. There were 6 races remaining, and DTM travelled outside Germany for the final time of the season. The venue was Assen in the Netherlands, the Cathedral of Speed. And the start was a dramatic one.
I saw the lights were going green, and people around me started to try to get the start going, but obviously the leader was not willing to go, and I think he was just waiting too long.
It is Lawson on the left of the picture, the pole sitter, about to get them underway with Marco Vittman alongside the green lights, and we are racing, and Maxi Gotz gets a good start as he tries to draw alongside now from the 2nd row of the grid. Bortolotti's got the inside line. It's going to be Lawson in the lead.
The start was fine, I thought. We have from the starting corridor at the start of it to the end of it, which is like the start line at this track, and I can go whenever, well, the leader can go whenever he wants in that box. I left it till basically the line, and I think the guys behind were obviously getting quite eager to go, so maybe, I don't know if there was some stuff going on behind me, but I just did something different this time, and from my side it worked at least.
And this man continued where he'd left off in Austria. Liam Lawson didn't win, but he was on the podium for what was already the 7th time this season. Finishing in 3rd place, he racked up valuable points as Kelvin Van Der Linde struggled to 12th place after falling foul of a safety car, which had ruined his late stop strategy by slashing his pre-pit stop time advantage. Lawson took the lead in the driver's standings for the first time since the opening race.
Really good news. Yeah, it's obviously very positive. We definitely got lucky today with obviously Kelvin getting called out by the safety car. He was on a different strategy, so it's positive for me to For us, it was trying to take advantage of that when we were able to do that, but we definitely had to work hard for it. There was a lot going on. I touched quite often with a couple of cars. I think with Maxi early on, with Marco as well at the end when he overtook me. So from our side, it was just about surviving and scoring as many points as possible.
However, in the race, he was unable to overtake this man, Marco Vittman. In spite of a 5-second penalty for a collision with Lawson, he bravely overtook Rockenfeller, drove like there was no tomorrow, and scored his second win of the season.
Oh, you guys! Oh, yeah! Yeah, Marco! Fantastic! What a drive! Thank you, guys. Thanks. Yeah, it's a P1.
At the end I got this 5 seconds penalty, and I knew somehow I need to pass Mike because he was obviously on the old tires slowing us down, and I knew the only chance is now to somehow find a way passing him and then making a gap, and yeah, actually it worked out. Obviously one of the nicest wins, definitely.
Once again, it became apparent how close it was in DTM. With Maximilian Gutz in the Mercedes and Christian Klein in the McLaren in 4th and 5th place, 5 different brands were represented in the first 5 places for the first time in DTM 2021. A key contributor to this was guest driver Mirko Bortolotti, who took a sensational 2nd place in the T3 Motorsport Lamborghini. A first DTM podium for the driver, the team and the manufacturer.
Great result, great debut for me here. I'm really happy. I think we did a great job from yesterday to today. Also for me, trying to get used to everything. Everything was new, so really great stuff and a great way to start in DTM for me, and I'm really happy.
Not Lawson, not Vittman, not Goodz, not Kelvin Van Der Linde. Somebody else dominated the 2nd race at Assen. Lucas Auer put in a spectacular performance and won the race, despite the fact his car had been heavily damaged the previous day.
The Austrian comes through the final few swoops and turns. The checkered flag awaits. And here the Mercedes comes. Lucas Auer takes the checkered flag and wins here at Assen.
Yes, baby. Yes. Thanks for this day. Very good job. Very good job. Thank you, guys.
I feel amazing. Also, a huge thanks to the team. The race was great. I had a mega start, mega first 2 laps. I really could open up a gap, which was good for our strategy and pit stop, where the guys did an amazing job. But after that, just Leon had more pace, more tire management, and I was more than happy that the race didn't take another lap.
Lawson came 2nd, Vittman 3rd, Van Der Linde 4th and Albon 5th. Gutz was only 6th, but was still able to emphasise what was special about this weekend.
Yeah, first of all, I really enjoyed it here, to be here with all the fans, with the crowds full of, the grandstands are full, so it was mega to drive in front of the fans. But in the end, to be honest, I was hoping for more points.
The outcome of the weekend was that Lawson headed to Hockenheim 10 points clear of Vittman, while Van Der Linde and Gutz remained in contention for the coveted 2021 DTM title. It seemed increasingly likely that the decision would probably only come at the street circuit in Nürburgring, where the season finale was about to be held for the first time in DTM history. First of all, however, DTM raced at Hockenheim, in previous years the traditional venue for the grand finale. This time it was the penultimate round, but once again it promised sheer excitement. On Saturday, the first candidate to suffer disappointment was Marco Vittman. He'd been the only driver to score points in every single race of the season, but that brilliant run finally came to an end.
The race got this unlucky position in turn 6 with Miney, who kind of spun around. Got a big hit there for the last weekends. We were strong, always kind of in the top 5, and now suddenly the gap is huge to 1.2 seconds, so something which we don't really understand.
Maximilian Gotz, who'd started the race 4th in the driver's standings, finished in 5th place aboard his HRT Mercedes AMG. Liam Lawson finished 4th. He only lost out on a podium position on the final lap of the race. It was Mike Rockenfeller who put in a spectacular display. In spite of starting only 17th, he finished 3rd. And after the race, he then announced that he'd be leaving Audi after 15 years.
I didn't expect to be on the podium at the end. For sure, the qualifying was a result of a technical problem we had. I knew I have the pace in the race, but you need a lot of luck. And still you have to overtake, and I did some good overtaking, so I enjoyed that.
Alex Albon finished 2nd, a fine effort from 9th on the grid. But after a difficult couple of rounds, KVL was unbeatable once more. From pole to victory without any trouble. He was now tied on points with Lawson in the driver's standings.
You really did a brilliant job coming all the way from pole to victory, and now you're also leader of the championship, even though you've got the same points as Liam, but you're the leader. So how exciting is it? All in front of your parents here.
Yeah, it's cool. They're happy. I'm happy. Hopefully they got a bit of champagne as well. That's what they came for all the way from South Africa. So I'm really proud, especially of my team. You know, they didn't leave any stone unturned in the workshop. They really worked extremely hard, and you see the performance today also from Mike at the end. It was really fantastic.
Fantastic. And we just need to ask your parents, if we may, how proud of you are you? I mean, you've got both your sons here in the championship, but I mean, obviously he's going for the title, hopefully. So how proud are you guys?
We are very, extremely. I mean, this has been a dream since I started in go-kart, so we're extremely proud.
But on Sunday, things went somewhat less well for Van Der Linde. In spite of another pole position, he only finished 10th. The reason? During the race, an intense battle with Liam Lawson unfolded. In the process, Van Der Linde tangled with his opponent and incurred the first of 2 5-second penalties. Lawson finished in 2nd place and reclaimed the lead in the driver's standings.
Today we had the advantage, that's why we did a better job. It's going to be about maximising when we have weight in the car, which will be next Saturday, and then going to Sunday basically in whatever position we're in. But the mindset, everything stays the same. We just need to score points and not DNF.
3rd place went to Maximilian Gutz, who was still within striking distance as a result.
We had a weekend which was not perfect for us. In the end, we suffered yesterday in the race. I was P2 on the start, and then suddenly we went up on P5. Today it was opposite. We started from 7 and we finished on the podium, which it's a great result. And this shows we don't give up. We're really fighting hard, and nothing is done yet.
Having started the weekend 2nd in the points, Marco Vittman was now almost out of contention for the title. Finishing 11th, he again missed out on scoring points.
I'm obviously going home with 0 points. 2 races left, obviously the championship is gone.
The big winner of the day, Lucas Auer. The Austrian secured his 2nd win of the season and also scored the decisive points for Mercedes. With his success, the brand from Stuttgart had already secured the manufacturer's title.
Purely mathematical, it was clear prior to the Nürburgring round. Yes, there are still 4 drivers who can become champion, but realistically, everything looked set for a 3-way battle between Liam Lawson, Kelvin Van Der Linde and Maximilian Gotz. 14 points was the average of the Red Bull star over his fiercest rival. However, Kelvin had scored 1 more win to date than his 19-year-old opponent. And Gutz, he had the least pressure prior to the final. Will he use his outsider's chance? So, who will pull it off? Who will seal the title?
It all came down to this.
Hi, I'm Liam Lawson.
This is Kelvin Van Der Linde.
My name is Maximilian Gutz.
And this is the championship
battle for the DTM championship finale.
The unpredictable streets of Nürnberg will determine the destiny of this year's championship.
It's the little Monaco. It's going to be tight.
Obviously very unique, very, very short.
If you make a mistake, you're in the wall and that's game over.
Hard fights, hard battling.
A street circuit to finish off is going to be pretty exciting.
Who would be crowned king?
I was always dreaming about become DTM champion, and this was always a big dream, even in my childhood.
I'm burning for it. I've got the passion for it. I never wanted to go to Formula 1. DTM is my life, so that's why I deserve to win it.
I could be the youngest DTM winner in history. We fully deserve this. I'm really, really proud of the whole team, the way they've worked all year.
A nerve-wracking finale. This is what the DTM is all about. The decision was imminent, and the drama started early.
the championship at stake here. The Ferrari and the Audi side by side, and they get underway, and Liam Lawson has got his nose in front here. Kelvin Van Der Linde tucks into second. Lucas Auer is just about third, but Arjamani coming at him, and here comes Kelvin Van Der Linde down the inside into the hairpin, but he goes too deep, goes wide. Liam Lawson has to get out of the way. They're both going to drop down the order, I think, into the wall.
I still can't believe he went for the gap, really, because I was barely making the corner, and then I just see an Audi come down the inside, and I guess he felt like he needed to go for it.
He's a bit upset about turn one. I think he wants to drive alone on the racetrack. Then he should probably do that in F1 where there's no racing, and yeah, you can drive on your own. From my perspective, I'm P2 in the championship, and the guy you need to beat is in front of you into turn one. If he makes it ahead of you out of turn one, he wins the race by 20 seconds. If not, then it's a cool race and we've got a chance.
And there we go, down the inside into the lead of the race. Relatively easy move that for Maximilian Gotz, takes the lead away from Felipe Ellis. So he's on course now for 25 points, 10 more than Liam Lawson.
Kelvin Van Der Linde still had to risk everything once more in the closing seconds. With a move that tested the very limits of adhesion, he overtook Nick Cassidy for 4th place.
Good move, good move. You stay there. Very good.
But it was particularly because of this man that the battle for the title became even more exciting.
The flag comes now! The flag comes now! Yeah, boys! Woohoo! Woohoo! Great job, guys! Oh my God!
I was crying in the helmet, and I was really not really sacrificing what happened, you know. I mean, we started the race on P5. I was sure these guys in front have a good pace, but we had a better pace today.
During the course of the day, everything had changed once again. While Marco Vittman was now finally out of the running, more than ever, Maximilian Gotz was still a genuine title contender. The Franconian rewarded himself for a strong home race in which he demonstrated his unbelievable mental strength and coolness under pressure. And there was another impressive performance. Arjun Maini scored his first podium finish at the final weekend, becoming the first Indian to make it onto a DTM podium. The Mercedes driver remained unfazed and error-free.
I've been on a DTM podium now. I did the whole race with some damage because I hit Liam at turn one, so I didn't think this would be possible. But at the end of the day, here we are, P2 at DTM, so I'm really happy.
Gutz was on the podium for the 7th time this season, but it was only his 2nd time on the top step. With one race remaining, he was 19 points down on Lawson. For Van Der Linde, the gap was 18 points. Everything was set for a spectacular season finale. And it was here at the Norris Ring that we were also treated to the launch of the sensational new DTM electric car, developed ahead of the inaugural season in 2023. This is the new DTM electric we're unveiling at the 2021 season finale at Norris Ring. It's another pillar of our platform, and I think it simply looks sensational. There's lots of development behind it. We've got 4 separate wheel individual drive here. We have a steer-by-wire system again, but this time really ready to race and not as a demonstrator. So that's why work on it has been going on all season. The idea to have full-on racing like in DTM, but with electric, has been our challenge from the very beginning. Being the pioneer here, achieving something like this in a genuine race setup, it's been done with full passion from the first moment onwards. Currently there isn't anything like this, neither in racing nor on the road. And then with over 1,000 horsepower, getting the heat out of it is a technical challenge. But we're happy to take it. This is our motivation, developing optimal solutions for highly complex systems, and eventually also bringing them into mass production. These partners are exactly what we need for such special projects, which are highly complex. But these will be the future, and therefore we feel that we're in a very good position already with Mahler and with Scheffler. We just want to offer everything to make the fans happy. Maximilian Gutz. Kelvin Van Der Linde. Liam Lawson.
Exactly. This happened what I hoped for, that these guys are fighting quite hard in the beginning of the race, that I get a chance to make it in the end.
There are the lights, they are red. Everybody staring at the gantry inside the cockpits and at the trackside, ready for the race to start. And the final round of the championship gets underway. The championship decider is go. And it's Liam Lawson with a very good start. Van Der Linde down the inside of the curbs. Contact between the top three, they all go wide. And Liam Lawson and Nick Cassidy both stopped.
I would have thought after yesterday's stupid move he would learn from it, but clearly not.
You know, there's contact, it's a contact sport in a way, also touring car racing.
The car is broken, mate, the car is broken. One step is smashed.
We wanted to make sure we put everything on the table. We wanted to make sure we fight for every last point.
The same idiot takes you out twice in the same corner. On the lap one of turn one, it's just a bit ridiculous.
I think fight between Kelvin and Liam was quite tough, but also my fight with Kelvin. He was defending really hard.
And their newer tyres now, are they going to be able to do it? Oh, three abreast as they go down the inside of Liam Lawson. What a moment that was, the top three of the championship. All together, there's contact with Kelvin Van Der Linde going into the side of Maxi Gotz's Mercedes as they came out of the corner on different lines. They survive.
He drove into my car.
We're not here on a kid's birthday party, we're here to go racing and it's tough.
And then he got a puncture.
No, there's the contact, around goes the Audi and spins, and that's it. That's the end of his championship chances.
Van Der Linde faltered, and that cleared the way for Gotz to claim the title.
There he is coming through shot, Maximilian Gotz. He's getting ever closer to him. 2 minutes left on the clock. If he wins the race, he wins the championship. It would move him on to 230 points. He'd take it by 3 points from Liam Lawson. All the drama at the start of the race was between his two rivals, and they might just have left him in the position here because Lucas Auer has backed right off. He's going very slowly, and through comes Maximilian Gotz to take the lead of the race and potentially to take the championship crown. He goes through, he's into first place, 25 points are coming his way, and so too, in less than 3 minutes' time, will the title.
I'm the third lucky guy in the game, and now it counts, in the end counts, and we are top of the podium, so this is just amazing.
It is going to be Maximilian Gotz that comes through. The flag awaits, the championship title awaits Maximilian Gotz. As the fireworks go off, he's the 2021 DTM champion. He takes the checkered flag, he takes all 25 points, and he takes the title.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but this is the greatest feeling ever had.
Winning my first DTM race here, and today second race and be DTM champion is just, it's just outstanding. I just describe the words. It's, I don't believe it.
Maximilian Gutz, who was born close to Nürnberg, was in control at Norrisring, winning both races and being crowned champion for the first time. A massive success for Mercedes. In its first season after the comeback, they achieved the biggest possible triumph.
So in the end, it's going to be a great evening. Of course, I will invite also Kelvin and Liam because these were super contenders over the whole year.
Obviously, a championship is made out of a lot of races, and it was not just today or yesterday, it was the whole season. In the end, I think the right guy won the championship. Maxi deserves it, and I'm really happy for him.
That was the DTM season 2021, and once again an unbelievable season has come to an end. Maxi Gutz has become the deserved champion. But sad as we are that it's all over for now, just as much we are already looking forward to the new season. That will get underway in Portugal at the end of April. So hopefully you'll be joining us next year. One thing is for sure, it's going to be spectacular and exciting. So see you next year. Bye-bye.